I don't think you understand. I just don't think you understand. Oh, we're recording. All right. Lil Jon, I truly don't think you understand what you mean to the league. I'm pulling up my maps. Or not my maps, my fucking app. But you're like the unicorn of the league. You're the most mysterious man of the league. You're the least outspoken, the most maniacal. And, the more I get to know you, it's like, this guy's just an average Joe.
That's all it is. Don't
Now, I do want the league to see we got the first background Joe TV, John Davis Football League, welcoming Lil Jon. But before we get started, Lil Jon, I don't know if you've seen the famous Joe TV episodes previously, but I do have something special because you can't have a TV show without a logo, right? Just doesn't make any sense. Let me go ahead and apply. Hold on, let me cover my camera. Let me get out of the way real quick. I just want you to know you're the first person on Joe TV for the infamous John Davis Football League, baby.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So I couldn't start today without making the JDFL official. So I did want to drop our new league logo specifically for you. So now it's your turn, man. I want you to give the people what they want, the power rankings. One of the commissioners already gave theirs, and he was kind of late posting it. Jeremy Holcomb had to remind him to post it, so he's kind of dropping the ball. But the people want to hear what Lil Jon have to say.
First, I want to say thank you for having me. It's a huge honor. Just like Austin 316, I got to kill the nerves a little bit.
So, are you old enough to drink?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm a little nervous going into it, but had to kill him a little bit. But why not just dive right in? At number 12, no big surprise here. It's the Grim Reaper. I mean, yep. Awesome name, shit team. Hasn't shown much all year. I think he's thrown in the white flag. Hasn't made many moves. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's in my division. I'm glad I get to play him again. Should hopefully be another free win, but yep. He's done. And I think he'll stay at 12 for the rest of the year.
Let me ask you a question. We got 5 games left? Do you think he can win one more game?
No.
Me neither.
I don't think he's winning another game. I don't think so.
What do you think his punishment should be? I mean, since we're on the topic of worst player in the league, were you a big fan of the stand-up comedy, the beer mile, the skirt and golf? What do you, if Lil Jon had to say, what's his punishment?
The way I've been thinking about it is something that I wouldn't want to do. And I would hate to get up there on that stage with some stand-up comedy, with jokes that y'all have written or something like that. That would be
yes.
That would be
yes.
That would be terrible. I would hate to do that. What's your thoughts on the on next year's punishment?
So, to be honest, I think Zach's done after this year. The lack of commitment to the league, the lack of showing up to draft day, being a local. He can throw blame at Austin and Hunter all he wants. But, personally, I think he's going to drop out. So I don't think the punishment really matters because I think this is the end of the Grim Reaper. I think he's as dead as his team.
Yeah, I think I see it coming too. I think it's coming to an end. But at number 11, I have Viper. It was a great start. He popped off with 2 big wins at the beginning of the season, but it's been downhill from there.
Yeah.
Let me pull up his team. But yeah, I don't see much in his team. You know, he's got Geno. I like Geno, but other than that, looking down, I don't think there's another guy that I would want off his team other than possibly Geno. Maybe Amari Cooper, but that's about it. Najee, bust this year.
I think if Cozy had this team last year, he'd be top 4.
I can see that. I can see that. But you know, the Falcons just aren't getting. He just when did he? Oh yeah, so he just traded. I just saw that he just traded for. He just got Pitts. I don't know if you saw that trade.
I thought it got vetoed. I thought I seen an email. It got vetoed.
I saw that
Maybe
email. They resent it and it went through.
Okay.
But yeah, he sent.
Gotta grab my phone. I gotta grab my computer charger.
He sent Justin Fields, Antonio Gibson, and DJ Chark for Kyle Pitts, Heineke, Carter, and Breece Hall.
So pretty much he threw in the towel.
I think so. I think so.
You know what? What I have to say to Cozy is go fuck yourself, because if he would have done that bullshit trade last week, I'd be sitting at 5-4, I believe, instead of 4-5, and I'd be going into a pretty weak matchup this week, looking at 6-4.
Yep. At number 10. Man.
Don't even look at me. You better say someone else's name. You better not. Don't put me at 10. You better put the Goose. You got 316. I think I'm gonna call the show right now if you put me at 10.
It was tough, but look, here's the thing. It was either between you and Austin. I consider y'all two possibly up there on that Mount Rushmore of, you know, fantasy owners in this league. But something's changed with you, JoJo. I don't think you've made the playoffs in 2 years.
You're not wrong.
You're normally always that guy in the playoff. You and Austin, you're always in the hunt. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of the year, when I found out you were in my division, it's one of those things where, like, all right, it's gonna be a competition. But
the trade's still haunting me, man. But you know what? Even if I didn't make the trade, Mark Andrews is down, Chase is down. I'm just competing with a shittier team. You know, it'd be cool to have the big names on the bench, but I might have one more win than I currently have. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things. But you still got me, you got Hunter, you got Austin. I guess you can throw Cole because Mount Rushmore has 4 heads. So,
but I was looking at your team week 1 and looking at it on paper, it's a playoff team for sure.
Yeah.
And trades, you know, wrong moves, but hey, it is what it is. That leads me to number 9, Austin 316. The dynasty is over. That's it.
The dynasty's over.
The dynasty is over. I mean, normally he's like you. He's always up there, and I don't believe he made the. I don't know about the year before, but I don't think he made the playoffs last year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think he did. I think he did. But I will say, as of right now, this could be the first time that Hunter, myself, and Austin, all 3 do not make the playoffs.
Yep. Which is crazy to say, because y'all are always up there. But so that leads me to number 8. This was tough. 8 through 6 was tough for me. I believe they could have gone either way. You know, first, I mean, this year it's been very competitive, top to bottom. It has been a very very competitive fantasy football year. But at number 8, I put Hunter, and that was really due to the remaining schedule. The remaining schedule he has, he goes Travis, Cole, Andy, and then who does he play after that? He goes Andy. Who was it?
So you don't think Hunter's going to win another game?
It's just a tough remaining schedule that I saw for him. Yeah, so he goes he goes Travis, Cole, Andy, Sapp, and then Travis again. It's a tough remaining schedule.
So I'm guessing based on those names, you think those are top 4 or 5 teams then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe he might be able to pull one. He might be able to win one of those, maybe. But I really put him there just due to the remaining of the schedule.
So what do you think about Hunter trying to sell Lamar Jackson this week just to get one win?
You know, Lamar started off hot, very hot. I think he put up like a 40-point game early in the season, and then after that, it's kind of died down a little bit. He hasn't really been popping off like that I thought he would. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'll make something happen. I would love Lamar, but he's gonna ask way too much for him.
Do you think Lamar is struggling because he pretty much lost his 1 and 2 receiver? Or do you think even if he had Bateman and Andrews, he's just not a quarterback?
That's tough to say. You know, I believe him and that Andrews connection can go a long way. No matter who else is on the field, that connection he has right there with Andrews can go a very long way. And then also his running ability. I mean, he's insane. I honestly thought he was going to get hurt within the past year, but he's avoided injury, and yeah. Where's that put me at?
So that puts you at 7.
Puts me at 7. 7. I went. So I went with that mongoose. 22%, 8%. I don't even know what it's at anymore.
It's 22%. Holcomb's happy as shit right now.
Hey, yeah. I would be too. I mean, hey, how crazy would it be if he somehow pulls something out?
Well, him and Hunter have a lifetime bet. Whoever wins the league pays the other one's entry. So if Holcomb was somehow to win the league and Hunter lost, or just let's say not made the playoffs, it would be interesting.
Yeah. That would be very interesting. But very solid team. I think Prater beats him this week.
Okay.
I think that's why I put Prater at 6. I think Prater beats him this week and really kills that playoff hope for him.
Doesn't kill. It just goes back down to like
it goes down
8 to 10%.
Right. But I believe Prater gets the win over him this week. It's gonna be a good matchup. But that's why I put him at 7. I was gonna put him at 8, possibly, maybe even 6. That's those 3 I could have flip flopped around. But that's why I put Prater at 6.
So you're kind of like Austin. You think the league's still in a couple different tiers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So Prater at 6. He's right behind Goose in points. But I think DK's starting to heat up a little bit. And I believe if Dalvin Cook can stay healthy, which is tough, but I believe if he can stay healthy, he's got a good shot at it. And then
so he got a 5. You can't rank yourself that high. You're not that good.
At 5, I put Goldberg.
Goldberg.
I put Goldberg.
So you're telling me on Joe TV, you think you're a top 4 GM this year?
Absolutely. I forgot to mention this with Goose. He put up his season high 170 against me, but then I put my season high 180 against him. That's just tough. I mean, that's tough. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And then last week, I think I put up like 150 against Zach. I mean, team's heating up. It's looking good. But you'll see where I rank myself. You'll see.
I mean, personally, I really don't give a shit. I'm gonna whoop your ass this week. And I think whoever comes on after you is going to rank you lower than the top 4 of whatever you think yourself is. So, I mean, when I look at your team, and I know we're talking about Travis, but when I look at your team, you got a busted Jared Goff. You got a shit Russell Wilson. Both quarterbacks are likely to put less than 10 points up. Sure, you have arguably 2 top 5 running backs. And then I think Diggs puts up 30 this week. I'll be honest. Like going against Minnesota, I think it's a revenge game. But that's if there's a healthy Josh Allen. News is still pending. Pierce has a tough matchup. Schuster's washed up. Goddard sucks. And you don't know what you get. Hopkins is shut down. So really, this whole TV episode is about how I'm gonna bust your ass this week, but it's not about me. It's about you and your power rankings. So let's hear about Travis because he's gonna be butthurt that you don't put him in the top 4.
I just think it was a tough matchup between. It's going to be a tough matchup between him and Andy, and you're not going to get 55 out of Mixon and 36 out of Adams again.
Hey, let me ask you a question since we're on that topic. Has he offered you a shit trade this week about? He offered me Tom Brady, Mixon, and Godwin. He's really trying to sell high, and I thought that was kind of comical. So I was just curious if he sent you any shit trades with that same matchup.
He hasn't sent me anything. He hasn't reached out to me.
Okay. He by far sends the worst offers in the league.
Yeah, I think I stopped messaging him back probably week 2. I don't think I responded to him.
I don't think you message anybody back.
Not a lot.
I'd ask you 5 times to be on the show today.
But I just Mixon dropping 55 and Adams 36. It doesn't happen again. That's really you looking at that lineup that week. The rest of his lineup didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He got lucky on that one. But that's why I put Cup Debo's nuts at 4.
Oh my God, Lil Jon, I might stop the show.
Saying that I'm not a top 3 GM this year is that's insane to me. I mean, that my middle of the lineup is just it can. I don't even need quarterbacks to play.
Easy now, Tiger.
I guarantee you. We'll put a little side bet on it. I guarantee you, I beat you with. Let's just take out my points from the quarterbacks. I beat you.
What's the wager here? Because I would love this bet.
So let's
How about this? Georgia plays Georgia Tech in Athens. I know you're going to go to the tailgate with the Smith family. I'll show up. Loser buys winner drinks. It's not next week. It's in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sorry. Miss Cruz is over there talking. She's being out of line. In 2 weeks, loser buys winner 2 shots and a beer and admits who's the better GM this year.
All right. Fair enough.
It's on Joe TV, so it's real.
Will you be there for that?
Oh, I'll fucking be there because I'm taking my shots and free drink.
All right. I missed you this past weekend.
You showed up 45 minutes late. You sat there and told Logan that you'd be there any minute since 2:00, and you showed up at 11:30. So I don't want to hear I wasn't there. You lost your wallet and somehow spent $40 on 9 hours in Athens. That's incredible.
I made it last. But yeah, I did it. I'm losing my wallet. Got my card back today. Had to go get a new one. But it was a tough weekend.
So who do we got at 3? Let's just talk power rankings. We're in the top 3.
All right, at 3, Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Showstopper, Lil Jon, myself. I put myself at 3. I honestly I could have put myself at 1 or 2. Me personally, I believe so. I really do believe I could have.
Okay.
But the reason why I didn't is because, I've got a good team. I believe I have the easiest remaining schedule in the whole league by far. I believe I have a good chance to win out. Obviously, my QB situation is didn't turn out like how I thought it would. I thought Russell Wilson was going to be the guy in Denver.
Hey, John Davis Football League, let's ride.
He wasn't. I don't know what happened with that. I can't stand hearing him say that either. After every press conference, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But you can be on the lookout for me to make a big move. I don't want my first round pick next year. I'm going for that belt. I will be going out there to get that missing piece to my team. I think this is the best year I've had at a chance to win that belt, I believe. And I believe I'm missing a key player.
What would it mean to you to win the belt?
Oh, you know what? We'll touch back up on this after we get done because I wanted to talk to you about a couple things about that.
All right, fair.
So
let me before we move on, hold on. So your biggest weakness is quarterback. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So you're telling me you would sell a first round pick for a top QB?
I don't know about a top QB.
So then why would you sell a first round pick?
I mean, I think there's other players that I could fill in that could make. I don't know if I could sell I don't know if I could sell a first round pick for a QB. It makes no sense.
I know, but I'm trying to think of Zach's the only player from a calculation standpoint that's out.
I've looked at it, and he has no player that would be worth.
Correct. So now I'd have to look at the trade deadline. But now you have to convince somebody who's still in it to give up a player for a top round pick. And I think that's going to be pretty challenging this year. I think everyone's a little prideful this year, and that everyone knows that there's still a fighting chance. And you look at the fucking Mongeese. I mean, anything can happen right now.
You know, at first it was Prater. I was hoping Prater would lose a couple games. I was going to go out and reach out to him, but you know, I think I don't know what his record is right now, but he's obviously, you know, looking at a good playoff spot, as well as, you know, Goose.
Yeah.
He had a player or two that I was looking at that I wanted, and now that he's, you know, he had a big win this past week, he's not selling. Right. So right now you're right. It is only Zach, and Zach he doesn't have a player that would help me out a ton.
All right.
But number 2, I put Cole.
Let's go. Lil Jon, you know what? Everything you've said up to this point, I love you because, you know, Cole's catching the fucking bug. And if Josh Allen, I told Cole I wouldn't talk shit about his team until after this episode. But if Josh Allen goes down, he is fucked. Grade A, fucked.
I believe even with back-to-back losses, it's hard for me to move him all the way from first to third. I was going to put myself at second, but it's hard for me to do that because when his team's healthy, he's got a damn good team. Austin Kirsten.
He did. I love that. Don't you love that?
Absolutely. I never want to wish upon injuries, but I mean, golly, it was. Austin said the only thing he's not dealing with is injuries, and sure enough, I mean, it hits him. It hit him hard.
I'm so glad I screen recorded that and posted it because Cole has not talked to me for 2 weeks until yesterday. He pretty much came up to me and goes, "Are you done bitching? Are you done?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I can be done now."
Hey, so what's the news on Josh Allen?
The head coach won't say. He keeps saying day to day. Me personally, I'm someone that has endured the infamous Tommy John surgery, and I know when a quarterback is accelerating to throw the ball and that hand gets hit, it hurts. So Josh Allen can throw a football significantly harder than I could. I personally think he has a strained UCL, and I think that he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. And I think they're not going to release that until Sunday.
Yeah, that hurts me. That hurts Diggs a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going to beat you this week.
We'll see. And then that leads me into number 1, Scrap Stars. I mean,
holy cow, he's going to be the happiest human being hearing that.
really, really tough loss last week, but I believe he bounces back. You know, he's got a very appealing rest of the schedule for the rest of the year. I believe he's looking good heading into the playoffs, and that's why I put him at number one.
So I look at his team. Njoku's back. I'm a huge fan. Ryan knows that. I've told him you have Cooper Cup, Kenneth Walker's a beast, but Herbie and Fields. So listen to this. If you look at Justin Fields, and this is where I think Ryan can get screwed. When you get to the playoffs, week 15, he plays Philly and then Buffalo, two phenomenal defenses, right? Then I think it's Herbie. Hold on. First game log. Herbie has Tennessee, he should destroy, and then the Colts. We'll see with the new head coach. But Fields, he traded for Fields. In my opinion, Cozy sold high. Good job for Cozy. But if you're anticipating that output, it's just going to be tough. And he really doesn't have anyone on his bench. So I'm looking at Fields. I'm looking at Gibson, and I agree with you. I think he's a top team, 1, 2, or 3. But I'm really going to start diving into the playoff schedules because it's going to be very interesting. I don't think Sapp wins the league. I think he finishes in the Final Four, has an upsetting, loss to a wild card team. But I agree. I think you could argue he's the number 1 team.
As of right now, yes. I believe, I like the tiers we were talking about. I believe they're all interchangeable.
Yeah.
I mean, this 1 through 3, possibly even 4 could go any way. Then you have 4 through 6, possibly even 7 could go either way.
Yeah, and then you got 8, 9, 10 who could all be top teams.
Exactly. It's been a year. Football has been weird this year. Football has been very, very weird this year. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. So that's the power rankings. Last question. We'll jump into the aftermath. Outside of yourself, because you obviously sound confident, who wins the league? Outside yourself. Without looking at playoff schedules, what's your wild guess?
It's just, I mean, Cole's got a damn good team when healthy, like I've said. I believe if he's healthy, he's got a very good shot. But it's so tough to say because even last year, I was in the playoffs last year, and I believe I faced who did I face last year? I faced Andy, I think, in the final or I believe so, and I put up like 90 something points. I got killed. It's just you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever your team decides to shit the bed, it was just the wrong time. You never know what could happen. But outside of myself, I believe it's. I mean, honestly, whoever makes the playoffs could squeeze through, and a six seed could go up there and win a championship.
Yeah,
that belt.
All right, so let's get back to the question I asked earlier. You obviously think you have a chance to win. What would it mean to you to win the league?
I mean, I've already thought. I've actually been ever since you asked me. I've been thinking about this question. I've asked me to come on to Joe TV. I'm not leaving this league. I wouldn't even consider leaving the league until I win the belt. Unless Austin ever approached me and was like, "Hey, you're done. That's it." Then I would, obviously I got to pack my stuff up and go. But until then, I'm not. There's no way I could even consider walking out of the league without that belt. At least wing it one time.
Now, would you, if you were to win, would you retire so you keep the belt and just move on?
No. Yeah, I'd come back next year. I'd have to. But yeah, I definitely continue to play. I plan on continue to play until either the league just disperses, it's no longer a thing anymore, or Austin's like, hey, somebody, you know, got to give your spot up. But that leads me to a question that I wanted to ask you. What would it? Is there an amount of money that it would take for you to leave?
No.
There's
This is outside of the fact I'm one of. Hold on. I'm gonna share some stuff with you real quick. Let me pull this up. So for those of you before John Davis Football League started, before the NWO Football League started, I gotta go back into group me. Hold on. So NWO started when we were at GGC. We did draft picks playing beer pong. And I talked to Andy and I talked to Austin about this because we were in Austin's little apartment doing this. And of the original people, it's me, it's Prater, it's 3T, ironically Holcomb, and your dad were the OGs of the league.
Well, me and him shared a team.
Yeah, but you've always been the backseat. Let's be honest. Like you've never been good. So I would not leave this league for any amount of money. The rivalries, the trash talk, it's all phenomenal. The once a month gathering for golf for whoever shows up is phenomenal. Me personally, I think this is a league that stays intact. You can interchange some of the bottom tier, GMs, which I will not say. But I think this is a league that somehow makes TV one day, like that stupid movie Tag. I think they could potentially make a movie with the comedians that we have in this league. So I'm not going nowhere. The People's Champ never dies. He might be dead the last 3 years from the playoffs, but we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot here lately, and you'd probably have to offer me. I mean, it'd be a few grand for sure, no doubt. I couldn't put like an exact price on it, but the amount of money I've put into it, the time, I mean, it's got to be one of my top 3 most used apps. Even when I'm not doing anything, I'm sitting there just focusing on just teams and whatnot. I've got another league. I don't even pay attention to that. It's hard. I mean, it's too fun with this league.
There's another league that started roughly the same time as this one did, and I know if there's anyone in this world was your dad, he did not appreciate us talking about other leagues. But this one instance, since I'm talking to you, I'm in first place in it, and I give 2 shits. Like all I care about is I'm fucking 4-5 in the John Davis Football League, and shout out to Cole. We talk a good bit about this league, and it's I literally can't wait till Sunday. Like Thursday night kicks, I'm pumped. Like tomorrow night, I hope Chuba Hubbard can play. If not, no worries. But like I can't wait to get on there and post the victory sign. I probably need to update the photo, but just these guns, baby, they need to be shown off.
Yeah, come Monday, Thursday, Sunday, especially after work Thursday and Monday, I'm itching. There's no better feeling than being down by like 10 to 15 points on that Monday night game, and you've got a player going, and you're just waiting.
You're not wrong, man. It's special. Those that came before us, aka Mr. Bubba Smith, who I'm going to be sending this video to tonight. There's a lot of good memories, a lot of good GMs that have come and gone. I think the core group's going to stay for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, how JD didn't like talking about any other league. He refused to join any other league. It was one league only. That was it. He didn't care about any other league possible.
Love it.
He would have loved this shit. He would have been on here every week.
Oh, every week.
Every week.
So I know we're getting close to the end, but I know for a fact if your dad was on this show, how he would end the episode.
Oh,
So I just got to hear it one time from you, a good loud one.
yeah, you put me on the spot,
Come
JoJo.
on, man.
Put me on the
I know you can dig down and give me one good one. Because you know what?
put me on the
There's
spot.
so many weeks that I want to do it, and I don't know how it'll affect you. So for this year, the first one that comes out of anyone's mouth, it's got to be from you.
I gotta clear my throat up for this one. This one.
Do it, baby. Just do it.
Woo!
I love it, baby. Lil Jon. I couldn't ask for a better person to drop the logo with, to have on Joe TV. Honestly, it's still shocking that I'm talking to you this long. Hey, real quick, why don't you ever respond to Ryan Sapp?
Honestly, it's that I'll entertain a trade every now and then, but then he'll send me some dumb shit to where I'm just like, I don't even want to look at it. I really don't. And I just don't like sometimes just going back and forth. And honestly, like my thing is I will admit this, I fall in love with my team. I don't know why. I don't know if you ever noticed this. Like, it's not like I don't want to trade. Like, sometimes I know I need to trade. But when I draft that team, I'm looking at it like it's the best team there is. And I fall in love with it. I don't know why. Like, Damian Pierce, I know he's your guy. He's my guy. I love Damian Pierce.
You'll drop him. Who's your keeper for next year?
That's tough. That's tough. I believe I got Damian Pierce in the 7th. He's a very considerable keeper. I don't know if I can keep Diggs still. I don't know how the rule works. I thought it was like you can keep him for 2 to 3 years, but I believe
2 years. 2 years.
years.
Draft year and 2 years.
So if Austin kept him a year prior to that, did he?
If Austin kept him last year and it was the first time he was kept, I believe the rules says you can keep him this year.
Okay. But I'll have to look into it. I haven't really thought too much about next year, but because I really want to win that belt this year. That's what I'm focusing on right now. But I say probably Damian Pierce, Diggs. Those are some considerable players I've got.
Well, Lil Jon, if I don't win the league, I hope you do. Thank you for joining Joe TV, and I'll see you in Athens in 2 weeks for those drinks.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure, Joe.
All right, baby. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir.